Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? Gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It is Tuesday, August 13th, and it is 2:39 in the a.m. And, saw a couple of things online yesterday that irritated me to the nth degree. Now, I already had some rumblings going on about things that irritate me, but, yesterday was one for the record books, I need to tell y'all. Or I usually say, I need to told you. I'm going to get into the first one that irritated me. Now, this is a political message, so feel free to turn me off, tune to something else, do what you need to do, because it's going to make some of you uncomfortable. And if y'all know me, if you follow me long enough, I'm going to say it anyway, because it needs to be said, and people aren't talking about it. See, I'm that person that will bring up the elephant in the room as opposed to keep walking by it and acting like it's not there. That's never been me. And I am willing to take my lumps for it. Okay, so first thing that irritated me yesterday was the Olympics. Now, over and over and over and over and over and over and over, repeatedly, I kept seeing a picture of Brittany Griner crying while receiving the gold medal. And the silly comments, I'm going to say silly, I'm trying to be nice. The silly comments about her protesting the anthem. And see, I want folks to really understand that is a misdirection of facts. When Colin Kaepernick took a knee, it was for a reason, and it was not to protest the anthem. Although the anthem does have some very racist ideologies that permeate through it. The whole protest of taking a knee during the anthem was a way to get attention. And the thing that was being protested was police brutality on people of color. Let's get this clear. Let me just draw a definitive line in the sand. That is what the protest was about. The second-class citizenship of people of color. And how folks make no bones about it, like people of color somehow deserve to be treated differently. How we have a separate set of laws for people of color. It's like that old Jim Crow kind of law in the South where people got touched up before they went to jail. If you don't know what touched up means, it means they got beaten before they went to jail. And if somebody asks, oh, they fell or they had an accident, I want to bring their attention to Sandra Bland in this instance. Sandra Bland is not here because, according to the police, she made an illegal turn. That was the reason to drag her out of her car. And then when she questioned the brutality, she was unalived. And I have to use that phrase because now the internet wants to get sensitive about certain things. Okay. Now the second thing that took this up a notch for me was a statement about presidential candidate Kamala Harris. Now, I'm sorry. I want my president to be lawful. I want my president to represent the voice of the people, not a select group. I want my president to pay taxes just like I pay taxes. I want my president to be able to negotiate with people as opposed to being the hothead I want my president to be transparent on the up and up. Now, I know there are a lot of things that happen in politics that I'm not privy to, but I won't say underhanded, dirty dealings, shouldn't be part of the presidency. And I know it's been going on for a long time. That I do know. People tell secrets after other folks die. There's a lot that goes on in the field of government. But again, I want my representation to be as best that it could be. Not somebody with felony charges that continues to highlight and accentuate and cater to the isms that keep this country sick. Yes, I said it. Now, I'm going to take you back a little bit before I get into what I need to get into. Now, when Obama was president, or when Obama was running for president, they attacked Obama based on his pastor's opinion. Now, I want you to get this clear. Somebody else said something, and it somehow was Obama's words. And I'm talking about Pastor Jeremiah Wright. And I'm going to ask you, in his statement that offended so many people, clutching the pearls, oh my goodness, did he say that? Did he speak the truth out loud? That statement, did he lie? And for those of you who don't know the statement, the government gives them, and referring to African Americans, the drugs. Now, let's go back to the Reagan presidency in the Iran-Contra. Okay? The government gives them the drugs, builds the biggest prisons, passes 3 strike laws, and wants us to sing God Bless America. Then he goes on to say, no, I wouldn't have used these words, but the brother chose these words. He says, no, God damn America. And he said that's in the Bible for killing innocent people. Then he goes on to say, God damn America again, for treating our citizens as less than human. Then he says it a third time, for as long as she acts like she is God and she is supreme. Now, in the last presidential campaign, a particular candidate was referred to as chosen by God, God's appointed. Why? Let's ask that question. Why? Now, we talked about Brittany Griner and her example. And I hopefully corrected that information. Then we talked about this particular situation. Now, we've heard something about black jobs, an individual deciding to be black. No, she wasn't black. She's Indian. Okay, her mother is East Indian, and her father is Jamaican. Then we determined that Jamaicans aren't black. I want you to sit with this, okay? And then yesterday, Ann Coulter, in all her infinite wisdom, I just need to pose a question. How long has Ann Coulter been the expert on black studies? She decides she's going to say that Kamala Harris is not foundationally black. What is foundationally black? So now we get to decide whether we're going to be black. Now there's foundational black, and we have designated black jobs. I want you to hear how silly that sounds. But it's being catered to, it's being pandered. You know, there are dog whistles and tropes and just flat out blatant racist statements. But we don't want to talk about any of that. We want to talk about crowd size. We want to talk about building a wall. And then yesterday's argument was, again, about crowd size. And this is what got me. That's not her idea. I thought of it first. Now, I'm going to go to the polls like everybody else and vote. But again, I'm going to vote for a candidate that I think will best represent the majority of us. I can't say all. I think it's impossible to please everybody. But I'm going to vote my conscience. Amen. And I'm urging you to vote your conscience and think about who you want as your representation and why. Foundationally black. And I need to say this before I close this statement. Again, this is a political message. According to my DNA, and I've done my DNA, I am not foundationally black. Now, I have DNA that represents Nigerian and Cameroonian, but the majority of my DNA is European. But what do you see when you look at me?